So we'll keep this fairly light. I think the last thing that you guys want is for us to be talking at you for the next hour. So we're going to do a very quick 15-20 minute presentation. Hopefully we'll teach a little bit, then we'll do a 20-minute Q&A, and then we'll do a bit of 20-minute networking. It might go into 30 minutes, 40 minutes, really up to you guys, how long you guys want to stay. Do you want a mic?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. Hi. So just a quick introduction for both of us. We're Playstack. Mike is CEO, I'm CEO. Any operational stuff around YouTube, my way. Mike is more strategy. What we do is basically we help you grow on YouTube, and we've mainly focused on B2B, so businesses, personal brands, stuff like that. But then also the big question is always like converting views into sales, leads, whatever that might look like.
At the end of the day, businesses don't really care too much about views. I think you guys care more about how much money your YouTube channel actually makes. So, very quick introduction, CEO Playstack. I've got a YouTube channel with 1 million plus subscribers. I think we've got 1.1 million. Work with industry leaders like Notion and Miro, and we've both helped hundreds of 7-figure YouTube channels, YouTube businesses grow.
Yeah, so I'm Milan, CEO of Playstack, managing dozens of channels actively. My background is in film and edit, so I worked with other brands like Ducati, L'Oreal, other big brands, and consulting and helping dozens and dozens of YouTube channels.
Some of the industry leading clients we work with, you probably noticed some of these guys, some of them come to here at the SEO Mastery and other conferences as well. So what is kind of nice for us is a lot of other marketing channels are getting harder. So organic SEO is getting a little bit more competitive, paid search is getting a bit more competitive, cold email, and we're noticing this as well, is getting a little bit harder. Podcasting over the last 5 years is getting very competitive, particularly online podcasting. And TikTok is getting more competitive / on the verge of getting banned maybe in the US. And so a lot of companies are moving to YouTube to diversify as opposed to putting all their eggs in one basket. But the good news is that YouTube is getting easier for small channels in 2025, and this is a conversation that a few of you guys have brought up with me yesterday, in that I'll let Milan explain this.
Well, if you're probably on your homepage, you see more often than not smaller channels with just fewer views popping up. This is YouTube really trying to push forward newer channels. We've noticed over and over that a new channel in their first month will have a boost in views. So often we recommend have your content ready, and if you want to launch, get as much as possible out in that first month, because you'll see all here 200 views, 300 views, 21 views, 180 views, stuff like that. It is YouTube wants to promote the platform to more creators, more people that want to post on the platform, and they do it by pushing them along.
And I think what's interesting here is if you look at the big guys like Alex Hormozi, Gadzi, Ali Abdul, you look at their views, how much views they're getting per video today versus 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Those views are really not crashing, but significantly decreasing. And I think YouTube is really giving smaller creators more of a chance, which is great for small creators.
Right, so I just want to feel the waters here a little bit. Who's currently creating on YouTube? Okay, not too many. Who's consistently creating on YouTube? 2. Okay, that's a great percentage. And how often is that?
Once a week.
Once a week?
The same.
Okay, yeah. So we also usually tell once a week. YouTube is a very momentum-based platform, we noticed. So the more you post consistently, and consistently also means targeting the right audience, the same audience over and over. and like weekly quality content, stuff like that, and then that will raise the channel. Now, for those who aren't posting or not consistently posting, what are some of the biggest challenges you have?
Time.
Time?
Ideas.
Ideas?
To get a face.
To get a face? You don't like your face?
Getting comfortable in front of the camera.
Okay, good one.
Content strategy.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a few things. Some I can tell you that are less important than others, and others are more important, and we'll get into that for sure. So yeah, you as SEOs have actually already a great advantage on YouTube. As you know, YouTube is a long-term game, and I heard SEO is quite a long-term game as well. But also you know already how search intent works, how to do keyword research, how to optimize content for viewers and visitors, how to analyze analytics, user behavior, and competitor analysis. You already know all of this as an SEO. It's very applicable to YouTube itself. That's yours.
So I'm really glad that you mentioned ideas, because ideas is by far the most important component to actually getting views on YouTube. I mean, if there's a list of about 25, 30 things that you really need to optimize on YouTube, but number one is the idea. If you have a crappy idea, then your video is probably not going to get many views. So then it's a case of, okay, how do you actually come up with these strong ideas? And there are four main ways, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because a lot of you guys will know some of these. But the reason why I want to show you this step is because I started a new YouTube channel. And we talk about theory, we're always talking about, okay, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this. But I wanted to take it a step further and run an experiment and put this theory into practice. So I'll go through the four ideas really quickly. Do you want to go over the first one?
Yeah, so I also made a video on exactly this first step on our own channel because so many people asked. But basically, the most obvious one is to go to bigger channels, see what works, organize, like rank them by popular. Now, there's a slight problem with that because if you look at channels, especially business channels that might be competitors or people you want to compete with or whatever it is, some of those videos might end up 5 years old, 6 years old, 10 years old, depending on how long they've been. So the topic is not necessarily relevant anymore. So, but it's a good way to see what works, what people like. Maybe it's the way they package it. Packaging means thumbnail, title, and maybe the intro as well. Find breakout videos. So one of my favorite ways to do it is like, especially in the marketing niche, is like go to different marketing channels, see which topics work there. And I'm on YouTube. I don't want to say how much, but we'll do a lot of research or like dig into a lot of it, like hours on like every day. And I'll start recognizing what pops out and what is. And LinkedIn is, for example, a topic that stands out in any channel. No matter what you talk about, like more followers, more sales on LinkedIn, it's a very popular topic. So you can use, you can check that here, but the easier way to do it is a tool. It's a free tool, 1 of 10. It's a Chrome extension. And if you then have it on your YouTube, you get that bar up there, and you also get an outlier score, right? So the outlier score is the multiple of the average of the last five videos. So it's not the channel average. vidIQ uses a similar one for channel average, but it doesn't make sense to me because if you posted 10 years ago and your first videos were crap, and you post your new videos and it's gonna compare, it doesn't make sense. So it will. So if this video was 1 month ago, the 4 videos ahead of that will be compared. This will be compared to those videos. And so you know that video specifically is an outlier, but then also all the other ones, you can see how much better they were, and these are more recent usually, rather than sorting by popular. So this is a free Chrome extension. They also have a paid version where they have a whole platform where you can look for outliers by keyword research and stuff like that. We use that for our marketing analysis and stuff, but this is the easiest way if you find a channel or you have a competitor and you just look what works for them. So similar with Ahrefs as well, like Google Update is of course a very popular topic, so that will be an outlier. Then you can also see that this is not sorted yet, so you can see that their other videos are not performing as well accordingly, and then you know that that doesn't work. Now, it could be the idea, it could be the title, it could be the thumbnail, it could be the content as well, but at least you know you should look out for those videos to get inspiration.
So this is my favorite, is finding small channels that have grown very quickly in a short period of time. So an example that I'm going to use is Brody Searle, and nothing to do with SEO, but you'll know why later on why I chose this example. So you can see here 9 months ago, I mean this is an oldish screenshot, this was about 2 or 3 months ago, but 9 months ago his first ever video on the channel had 175,000 views, the first video. And that right there is proof of concept that this topic, becoming an Ironman, which is a triathlon from zero experience in 7 months, episode 1, is a massively trending topic. You've already got proof of concept there. So I put the theory into practice. As I mentioned, this was an experiment. I wanted to, like a lot of you don't have a YouTube channel here, and so I wanted to kind of do a step-by-step of if I was to start a YouTube channel, the exact steps that I would take. So the first thing is figuring out, okay, you need a topic that, number one, has high demand. Secondly, you can talk all day long about. And thirdly, preferably, you can monetize it in some way. So I needed 3 video ideas. And so I did my research, exactly how we explained earlier on. And I found these trending topics. So these are 30-day challenges. They're all outlier videos, so 314,000 views 1 year ago on a tiny channel. So the view to subscriber ratio is huge, suggesting that it's a hugely in-demand topic. So that was my first topic, 30-day challenges. The second channel, or the second topic, Brody Searle, who does Ironman triathlon. I found this video. His channel grew to 13,900 subscribers in about 9 months. So that was my second topic. It also is worth mentioning that I was in the process of training, or am in the process of training for an Ironman 70.3, so I'm not going to compete in the 70.3 just for the sake of starting a YouTube channel. And the third topic, cycling, again, using this, the easiest way to find these in-demand topics is ranking videos for most popular. And this topic here, 10 tips I wish I knew as a beginner cyclist, almost every time a channel posts a topic on this video, it is essentially an outlier. So that was my third topic. So now that I have my 3 topics, I essentially A/B test, right? So I'll make 2 videos on 30-day challenges. So this is the new channel that I started. This is a bit of an old screenshot. I took it maybe 1 or 2 months ago. But the first videos got 2,200 views and 743 views. Not amazing, considering that it's a high demand topic. So average 1,500 views. So then I A/B test and I make 3 videos on Ironman. This was a little bit better, averaging 10,600 views. And then the third topic was cycling videos, averaging about 4,700 views. A little bit inaccurate. I mean, this video is evergreen and we're on about 30-ish thousand views now. But the results, at least in terms of views, at least in terms of demand, was the Ironman 70.3 training averaging 10,600 views. And so what I actually did relatively recently is I stopped making the 30-day challenge videos, or rather I put those videos on another channel. And now the channel is pretty much primarily Ironman 70.3 training. Because just because you can start a YouTube channel, just because there's huge demand in that area, doesn't necessarily mean that you should make videos on that topic. Again, it's coming back to this Venn diagram. And this here is often the hardest circle, if you like, to
or the passionate, I would also say like this, like there was 2 people out of this whole room that post consistently. Creator block or creator burnout is a massive thing. Even if you have a big team and you only have to be on camera, you can dread it to be on camera. So I always say find something that you can do consistently, and the topic is like really important in that case.
Yeah. So once you have the views, then you need to monetize. So I've got another YouTube channel, and this is my very simple funnel, because the idea is that you have an automated funnel. So we've got the traffic engine, then you've got the free lead magnet, or the thing that you give away for free, or tripwire. Then you have the email sequences, so you're essentially selling for the rest of the year, for the next 12 months. And hopefully it will end in a discovery call. Now this screenshot is super small, so just bear with me. This is a more in-depth automation of the funnel that I'm using for one of the businesses. And you can see here how small, you can see here, this is YouTube. And so YouTube is really a very small component to this whole funnel. But what I like about this funnel, it is 100%, 98% automated, because you've got the YouTube channel, videos are evergreen. So you're sending traffic essentially 24 hours a day to the lead magnets, and then the email sequence. We've got 2 email sequences. 5 emails go out in the first 5 days because that's when they're most likely to buy. And then we've got an email going out every 1 week, every 2 weeks. We've got a low ticket offers and then the high ticket offers. Very simple automation, but it works.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was like a creator funnel kind of view for a business. You're probably already using lead magnets if you're posting on LinkedIn or you're using email marketing. So YouTube is basically your traffic source, right? And it's why we like YouTube is because it's that evergreen selling, or like once you post it, maybe like 50 or 100 videos, that will continuously run. But yeah, we at Playstack do this on a daily basis for other people. Like we mentioned before, there's a lot of people here where we manage their channels, including Matt's, for example. But we also, for people that don't have the resources or whatever, we also have a do it for you. No, not do it for you. Do it with you. And this is our community where we do weekly calls, but you also get a private Slack channel with us and our team, and you can provide feedback. You can ask for feedback on your videos. We can help you with video ideas, and even I'll help you look and source like video editors or help build out your team. Or if you already have a team, like a marketing team for a bigger business, for example, but they have no idea what they're doing on YouTube, very often we just help them going through all these steps of what we spoke about, like finding the ideas, optimizing all these things, because we didn't even scratch the surface here. We only touched upon the idea, which is honestly 50% or more of what YouTube is. But then you have your thumbnails, you have your titles, who are you targeting, what are their consumption behaviors? Like these are all really important things, because the idea might be one thing, but some people might prefer to listen to a podcast or watch a reel or watch a 10-minute talking head video. So these are all things that we can help you with even in the community to figure that out. Often the fun part is we jump on a call with multiple people. They're like, hey, I'm out of ideas, and then we just brainstorm some ideas there and then they come out of the call with 20 ideas for the next videos. And we've been speaking or talking to a lot of you guys already in the last few days, and it seems like you need a lot of help, just also with accountability. A lot of people just can't get consistently posting, so yeah. That's what we're currently offering.
Yeah, we also have it done for you, obviously priced higher. We do everything A to Z. If you want to find more information about that, we have obviously our booth, so come and chat to us for more information. So that's it for Milan and I. If you guys have any questions, so we'll open up to questions for the next 15 minutes or so, if we have any, and then we'll do 20 minutes of networking and just casually chatting.
Yeah. Also, if you have a channel already, you can get a free channel audit. Scan here, register, and we'll audit. We'll basically like, how we call it? Just
we'll audit your channel and basically roast it.
Roast it.
But it's actually very useful, so I'll film like a 15-20 minute loom go through every single thing that can be optimized from an optimization standpoint. So if you think that would be useful, we've got a QR code there. And 2 QR codes here if you want to connect with Juan and I. QR codes to LinkedIn, email, website for more information. And like I say, we've got our booth out there as well, so come and say hi if you wish. So I'll open up to Q&As.
First, thank you very much for the presentation. Really awesome content there. Quick question from the point of view of B2B. So you obviously looked at a lot of B2C examples, obviously in sports, cycling. But in B2B, it's all about sort of thinking about ROI. So on LinkedIn, for example, the ROI is very clear because all our target market is all on LinkedIn. And so it's videos, post, it works really well. But on YouTube, I think about it all the time, like I have a channel, should I spend time posting on it or just go on LinkedIn and post over there? And the ROI is very clear for me because people who know me will then kind of reach out to kind of remind themselves, hey, listen, this guy does this stuff, let me talk to them. So what are your views on B2B for YouTube? And number 2 is about views, subscribers. Is that still important for us in the day and age of, YouTube 5.0, whatever it is right now?
Well, valid questions for sure. We mainly do B2B, to be honest. And there's a lot of different views on it. Like if you know Daniel Priestley, he preaches about the 7 or 4, 7, 11, whatever it is. Basically, people need to spend time with you, to trust you and to buy from you. And the best way to do that is watch a 10-minute video. Now, LinkedIn is great because that's where your target audience is. YouTube is great as well because you can make it evergreen. So if people have questions around it or they already researching around the same topic, your videos will be suggested. The conversions are more important for B2B than it is to get views. And so when we work on B2B channels are very often like personal brands, we're not trying to go viral. Because I don't need 16-year-old kids looking at a channel that is for AI automation. Well, maybe they are, but that's a bad example. Like somebody that sells SEO services or whatever it is, and you want to hybrid target who you're talking to. Because else you're going to be competing with people that are ahead of you for the last 10 years. And so the type of content you post could be more conversion or authoritative, such as case studies, right? But you can make it so that people want to watch that video rather than, it's another case study video. About the subscribers,
Yeah, so there's 2 things here. Firstly, obviously having tracking links in your description so you can actually track what your conversion rates are. I think also the second thing, and I mean we're biased with YouTube because we have a YouTube agency, but I started a YouTube channel in 2016. It's a personal development YouTube channel. It's on 1 million plus subscribers now. I posted videos in 2016, 17, 18 that are still to this day getting course sales because I posted evergreen videos way back then.
Yeah.
So I think that's really the power of YouTube in that with LinkedIn, maybe you make a post, but then it will, especially TikTok and Instagram, it'll maybe become irrelevant in 24, 48 hours. But with YouTube, because of the way the algorithm works, it can still be promoting your videos years down the line. So I think that's really one of the strengths to YouTube.
Yeah, and on top of that, I look at YouTube videos as sales assets, right? Same as blog posts, right? Very relevant for a very long time, but videos are more engaging and people will watch video more than they will read a blog post. So you can literally embed YouTube videos in your blog post, increase dwell time, then also add it to, if anyone has a question, like use it as an Q&A or FAQ on the bottom of your website, like link it to a YouTube video, all these kind of things, and people will start spending more time with your company or with you, and basically gain that trust easier.
Any other questions?
You talk about evergreen YouTube videos, right? But coming from SEO, I'm used to update the content of this site. Can you update the video of YouTube, or the algorithm doesn't care about the data?
Yeah, you can update videos. I mean, if you look at Imam Gadzhi's I think it's his most popular video. It was something like how to make $10,000 a month in 2023. But every year he changes the title to 2024, 2025, and it's still his most popular video. Same with thumbnails. If it becomes outdated, as long as the video itself is not become outdated. But I wouldn't spend too much time worrying about content you've already posted. I would instead spend those resources in just making a brand new video that is way better than that previous video in every single way.
Yeah.
That's what I focus on. Thank you.
B2B content from a brand or thought leadership from the owner's personal brand?
Personal brand all day long. People don't necessarily want to follow companies or faceless brands. If you look at Tesla, see how many followers Elon Musk has on X, and then you see hundreds of millions. But then you look at Tesla, they've got maybe 50 million, right? So people would rather watch or follow the individual as opposed to the company. So ideally, you'd want the COO, CMO, head of marketing, like an individual, because at the end of the day, we're humans. We want to build relationships with other humans, not with faceless companies.
So is the channel branded as that person's channel name, or is it a company name with the person on there?
You can do both. If you really want to optimize, I would have the person's, like, for example, Alex Mosey, I'm using his as an example a lot, but that's his personal brand, and then he's got acquisition.com. But the YouTube channel is Alex Mosey. Sometimes you can do that, and that's what I would prefer in terms of views, in terms of optimizations, in terms of conversion. Sometimes you can't do that because you might be running the channel for a company, in which case they'll work around with that.
Yeah, that's definitely the ideal situation. But if you go to Instantly, their YouTube channel, it's called Instantly, but it's just the co-founders that both do it. We often work with SaaS tools or other bigger companies like corporations where they're concerned about but even our head of marketing, where they can always leave, what do I do then? Now, of course, that's not ideal. So there's multiple ways around it. Like either you get a paid spokesperson, but that's like the most extreme version. But when you get at that point as a bigger company, then the channel should be about the value and the authority rather than the person in the video. So when people see the branding of that video pop up, then they know they get value no matter who's in there. But ideally, you get a personal brand. People connect way easier with an individual than a business.
Next question.
Based on what you said of YouTube favoring newer channels, if you have an old dormant channel with a few thousand subscribers, is it better to start from scratch or?
You can start from scratch. I've not seen much evidence that YouTube will favor new channels versus small channels. To me, it seems that they'll favor small channels regardless of the subscribers, regardless of how many years you've been active. If your content is really good, they will promote that. So I've not seen any evidence. I don't know about you.
I think your younger channels are probably better. Also, it really depends if that dormant channel was targeting a different audience. Like this is probably a question that a lot of you have as well. It's I want to target these different people. A YouTube channel should target one type of audience with the same consumption behavior. Now, if that would change, like maybe you want to do a podcast and long form content, you could combine that as long as you have the resources or don't have the resources. So it's all about consistency, right? So you can start different channels for different niches you're targeting. But if you can't stay consistent on each channel, then you might want to combine. But YouTube likes to have momentum, consistency in every single way, from audience to the type of content to things like that.
I want to test about the A/B testing for the topic. So I saw there's about a month difference between the two videos. So is it literally the same content, like in a different form, or what exactly are you testing? Because I'm thinking if my audience sees like the same topic after a month, it may be kind of redundant. Or do you just post that it doesn't show to subscribers? How do you do that?
So this was more my process of starting a new channel. In that I've got a completely new audience. I have 100% freedom. Obviously, if you've already got an established YouTube channel, then you have less freedom because your audience are already expecting a certain thing. It's like with my main YouTube channel, I tried to pivot away from productivity and personal development, but my audience were having none of it. And so they kind of pushed me back into a corner. And so with an already established channel, I know your channel is quite established, it's harder and you have less freedom. Saying that though, I think it is still worth A/B testing if you did want to pivot slightly. You just have a bit less freedom. But you should always be A/B testing though.
I mean, I do like thumbnails because it's the only like actual A/B test that you can do on
Sure.
YouTube. I don't think you can do it on titles, right?
You can change titles.
No, I can change, but I can like do it
Not
in
a,
the same
well,
time.
there's tools like thumbnailtest.com.
So
that allows you
YouTube allowed thumbnail test, so that's something.
Yeah,
I
that's
can do.
native.
Yeah.
But then there's an external tool called thumbnailtest.com
Uh-huh.
where you can A/B test titles or thumbnails, even hourly, or 24 hourly, or 12 hourly, whatever it is. I'm not sure how good that would be to change the title over and over and over, but it will maybe get you some data. For newer channels, A/B testing is also very difficult because you just need a decent amount of data to make conclusive decisions. But maybe for you, like check it out. I've used it before. It will give you like click-through rates, average view duration. Also, the A/B testing feature on YouTube for thumbnails is based on watch time, not on click-through rate. Right? So YouTube promotes channels where the videos have a long average view duration, or just in general a long view duration, because they want to keep people on the platform. If you make a crappy video and people stay on for 10 seconds, why would they promote that video versus a video that people stay over 50%? I noticed anything over 40% average view duration will generally get picked up more. So that should be like definitely something you look out for.
Some YouTube experts recommend to create not about your business shorts video and just about story from your business. If your niche is not so big, for example, SEO, we don't know so much topics. What about the top that's interesting to most businesses, not experts. And now I have my YouTube channel that provides to my agency most of leads, qualified leads. And I'm afraid if I will do this, I will tell the story in my shorts. I will interact, not good audience.
So it's the shorts you mentioned?
Yeah.
Vertically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Milan and I share the same opinion with this. Where shorts, from a B2B standpoint, from a monetization standpoint, for most businesses, they don't make too much sense. I mean, there's a lot of software like Opus Clips where you can, make 50 shots really, really quickly within minutes. But then you upload the shorts, and because they're kind of mediocre, they will get like 10 views, 20 views. And so I've seen very, very few cases where shorts are actually worth it for B2B. Maybe if you have a long form podcast, like Dario the CEO does this really well, where he'll cut out the most interesting, curiosity evoking 60 seconds, 90 seconds. But that's very curated. He certainly doesn't use AI to make them en masse.
Yeah.
So it can work, but in very specific cases.
So for me, my opinion on YouTube Shorts itself, like posting verticals on YouTube, never seen much success. I've experimented with thousands of different shorts. At the best results I got is contrarian topics or very strong opinionated topics where you just get a massive amount of engagement, even if it's bad engagement, then it will pick up. And it's just like getting top of mind. Now, we post YouTube Shorts, but we also recommend our clients to then post on LinkedIn, on Instagram with those same videos. Another way I use YouTube Shorts is instead of committing to a long form video immediately, I will try different topics in my YouTube Shorts, see what sticks best or which approach sticks best for the audience, and then I'll create a YouTube long form on it in that way. And that works a lot. Especially when I had clients and I was repurposing content, if it's like a long keynote and there's different topics within the keynote, I can then instead of like trying to cut out everything in the keynote and trying to post it as long form content, I did it as short, see what sticks best, and maybe we create a new video on that specific topic that worked best for a short form thing. Short form YouTube, if you go back to your question about stories, I think YouTube Shorts has a different algorithm than the long form content, as in like the consumption behavior is different. First of all, the recommendations will be slightly different. But if people can relate to you, that will pick up in a very niche topic on SEO for sure. Now, then we go back to conversions. Somebody that just relates to your story, are they going to buy from you? I don't know.
And I think one of the main reasons why Shorts doesn't necessarily work for B2B or educational content, or rather it's more competitive, is because of the mindset of the viewer when they're browsing through Shorts. Right? You might browse through Shorts when you're in the elevator, you've got 2 minutes spare, or you're sat on the toilet, or you're like 10 minutes before you're about to go to sleep. You're just kind of mindlessly scrolling, and it's like you don't really care too much about like the 3 best tips for SEO, right? And it's more about education, cat videos, that kind of thing. Not saying it never works; it does work, but it's just difficult to make it work.
Yeah.
So we've got time for one more question.
What kind of content is easily missed or underrated by manufacturers to build trust with viewers?
What type of content is underrated for manufacturers to build trust? Do you have an answer for that, Mark?
So I'll give you a tip on very niche topics, right? You can play around with your ideas, but you can also play around with the video format, right? Podcasts and long form videos are 2 different formats. Short form content is different. Now that's straightforward, but within the long form category, you can do popular formats such as tier lists or challenges is one of them. There's like many different types of long form content that is a popular thing to attract a broader audience. For manufacturing, I actually seen a channel that a guy, and this is the CEO and owner of the business, who sells air filters. And he did like a documentary style, and he walked around the factory and tells his story, talks about the challenges they have, talks about like the problems they solve for their clients, really building that like authority of like, hey, we've done this, and basically addressing all the pain points that a client might have. Put that in a video, and it's like, even if it's like, our staff are always cutting their fingers on the edges of the cardboard, so we adjust it this way, and so the safety of our staff is assured, and it also delivered faster for our clients. Like, I mean, this is super random, but I would really focus on your clients, what their pain points are, and that's with any content, by the way. What are their pain points? What are their consumption behaviors? How they're consuming content? The average commute in the US is 28 minutes, so that's why people love to listen to podcasts in the car if they're corporate and they're listening to a side hustle podcast. Perfect for you because you're trying to, just understand your audience, where they're spending time, stuff like that.
Yep. So that's it for Milan and I, and we'll be holding a very casual chat, 10, 15 minute, 20 minute networking. So Milan and I will be here at the front if you guys have got any questions. Eric, I didn't have time to answer your question, but we'll be at the front. So if you guys
we'll be here, we'll be at our booth the rest of the day, the rest of the week, stuff like that.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks so much for coming.
All this.